Hello everyone, welcome to Grow Your Future with Luxland. I am Zah, the CEO of Luxland Investments. We welcome you 2018. Happy New Year everyone. I am joined by our usual suspects, Jade and Mark. Happy New Year guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank
It's
you.
been a while, guys.
Thank you. We're really excited to start the year off strong. And we thought we'd just do a podcast about,
Thinking big.
yeah, which is what a lot of people are doing at the moment with New Year's resolutions and setting new goals and all of that sort of stuff. So let's get stuck into it.
Well, guys, obviously, it's 2018, new year. There's been a lot of emphasis on this year, I feel. You guys could probably agree with everyone kind of just feeling like 2017 was that warm-up year, and now 2018 is like, let's go, it's game time. And, I mean, it's happened here in our own company here, with Luxland. It's expanded rapidly over a matter of weeks. We're growing the team literally day by day at the moment, and it's pretty exciting. But I mean, one thing, moving forward, there's no point talking about the past now. The past is done. But have we learnt anything from that? And I'm sure you guys probably would have learnt a lot from the past year. And how do you see yourself? I mean, this is a question for both of you. But how do you see yourself moving forward? Have you got any strategy put in place, or is it just like easy come, easy go, let's do it? And I'm sure with you guys, that's not the case.
Well, I think we look to improve every single year. And, I mean, for us, we have the long-term mindset where it's not just a New Year's resolution, but it's a decade resolution. So, that meaning that we think about the next 10 years rather than just the next 12 months.
Yep.
And if you think, for the next 10 years, you tend to think a lot bigger. So not many people think about that. A lot of people think about just New Year's resolution. Where do they want to be in 2019, for example? But, what you really need to think about is you need to set yourself up for the next 10, 20, 30 years. And the habits that you implement now will if you can stick with them, so obviously the earlier the better, then you're going to have that compound effect later on in life.
Yep.
So I truly believe that, you shouldn't set goals just for the year. You really need to set goals for the next decade, for the next 20 years. And it's hard for a lot of the millennials out there that are listening to this because, they haven't been in business for very long, or they haven't worked on their career for, over a decade. Some people who listen to this are like they're 18 years old, right? So it's very hard for them to see, okay, where do I see myself in 10 years time? But I find that if you set your goals 10, 20, 30 years ahead, what happens is that you can reverse engineer it from there, and you actually work harder because you have that long-term mindset.
Of course, yeah.
So for us, I mean, it's not just a 12-month goal. It's not just a 12-month plan or strategy or anything like that. It's really working towards the bigger picture.
So I guess it's like, in a way, like you said, it's the bigger picture, but I guess nothing to a degree changes from last year. It's just we accept new adversities, essentially. We're prepared for new challenges, but the end game still the same. What happens in 2018 may differ a little bit to 2017, correct?
Yeah.
I think it's important I agree with you, but in some respects, I think every year needs to become more refined. So 2018, yes, our vision's the same, our mission is the same, our values are the same. We must never forget those things. They're imperative for success, but just ensuring that we're refining them all the time. And if we have to change the goalposts because things have evolved in the industry or within ourselves, then that's what needs to happen. But I think it's important to constantly be under review, reviewing yourself every single year and making sure that you're making those improvements because they're necessary for success. Improvement is necessary recipe for success at the end of the day, isn't it? And one of the things that I could comment on with talking about 2017 transitioning into this year is a lot of people, and I talked about it towards the end of the year, a lot of people don't finish off their goals for the year, even if they didn't achieve them. Just having that little bit of a review period of what you achieved in 2017. Did you achieve these things? If you didn't achieve them, then can you transfer them over to the next year? So you can feel really good about starting off 2018 with a bang and just feeling pumped and, happy with closing out the previous year.
I think people need to to review them every day, to be honest with you. You know, like, for example, every single thing that you do, is it going towards that goal that you've got written down? And most of the time, a lot of the time, people are doing things that are meaningless. You know, like they're scrolling through Facebook, you know, wasting time, or they're scrolling through Instagram, or watching, you know, mind-numbing TV. And, like, obviously all of those things that I've just said aren't going to contribute to any productive goals that you've got written down. So I think it's all constantly reviewing it, like every day, just having that long-term goal and also the short-term goals in front of you all the time. Like Grant Cardone, for example, he writes his goals down every morning when he wakes up and every night before he goes to bed. I mean, I probably should start doing that, because it's like, it just reminds you, okay, what do I got to do tomorrow if you're going to bed? You know what I mean?
Self-regulating.
Yeah, and you whenever you're doing something, you're thinking, okay, is this contributing to the bigger picture? You know, and I know this is about, you know, thinking big and all of those sort of things as well, but it's the same thing, you know, setting goals. And what happens, I find that people who set goals, they shortchange themselves. They set them too small, right? And they don't think big enough. And the reason why they do that is because they don't want to look like idiots, because if they don't reach that goal.
Correct, yeah.
And which
is worrying too much about what everyone else thinks, and it's not even important at the end of the day.
It doesn't matter.
Too many people worry about what other people think. And you know what? This is a podcast for people who can really sort of resonate from our experiences, and we don't want to sound like we've got all the answers, but we have experienced a lot. And I must admit, like back in the day, like I used to worry about what people thought. Like I really did. I wanted everyone to like me. I wanted to be quite popular, and I wanted, you know, to please everyone, right? But
I think we all did.
Yeah, but in actual fact, the bigger that you start thinking, the more enemies you're going to start making, because you're going to start making some noise, and people are going to start getting intimidated by that. And they, you know, especially your superiors, they're going to, if you're working in a job, they're going to try and suppress you. And, you know, people are going to frown upon it because they're going to feel guilty that they don't think big enough, or they haven't achieved big enough, right? So what you've got to do is you've got to push past that barrier of worrying about what people think, and just go out and do whatever it is that you want to do. And it's just the price of thinking big, right? And so many people restrict themselves. They've got these great ideas. They've got these grand plans in their head, but they never execute on anything because they're too scared of what other people think of them. Now, we live in a society where if you think big and unrealistic, and you put yourself out there and say that you're going to do that, or you're going to work towards that, people are going to say that's you can't achieve that. It's impossible. They're going to tear you down wherever they can. I've had everyone around me do that. You know, most people in my circle try and tear me down because, you know, even family have tried to do that. You know, people are going to try and stop you. So you can either think big and pay the price of, you know, receiving that hate and that jealousy and all of that sort of thing, or you can think small and receive small goals. You
10x.
choose. You choose.
10x, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to think big, right? I don't care if people like me, don't like me, or try and stop me. No one's going to get in my way, right? Because I'm just going to push them out of the way. And that's the way I think, you know. Then that's the beauty of thinking big. It gives you so much confidence that you are going to achieve that goal, and you don't care about what anyone else says. But, you know, too many people will settle for average. They settle for middle class, and you know what? That's okay, but you'll struggle for the rest of your life. Yeah,
it actually, with you saying that, leads me into my next part. There's how can we break through the limitations that we've set for ourselves, Jade?
I think, how do we break through? I think it all comes down to self-confidence and self-respect at the end of the day. How much do you respect yourself enough to be able to create a big vision or big goals, or set big goals for yourself?
Yep.
You know, what is it that you deserve? What is it that you've worked so hard for? What are the non-negotiables for you to be successful? What's absolutely paramount for you to be able to taste success? And how are you going to get there? So I think it's about...
I love that. Sorry, Jade. I love that, because if you respect yourself and you can make promises to yourself and you can keep those promises to yourself, then you will have respect for yourself and you'll have build that self-confidence to go out to the market and think big, right? So for example, if you can make a promise to yourself that you're going to wake up on time, you're going to wake up 5 a.m. every day and you're going to get to the gym and you're going to do a minimum of 1 hour of working out. If you can make that promise to yourself and actually follow through with it, and people see that, people will see that you respect yourself, and people will want to do business with you, and they will want to collaborate with you and reach those big goals with you, right? So respecting it, I love it, Jade. Respecting yourself is number one, because if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect anyone else to respect you?
I think I see a lot of people, and this happens around this time every year, or probably let's rewind a month or two. People are kind of winding down, they're getting into the Christmas spirit, party mode, end of year, celebrations are happening, and they're really happy with how they've gone this year, or they're ready to close out the year that's just passed. And everyone's just so pumped for the following year ahead, right? I know we were prepping back in October for 2018, and we were done. We were just following the year out. Motivation is amazing, and I think I see a lot of people have motivation, and they talk about how motivated they are and how they've got great ambition. But motivation is garbage without execution. If you're not executing on your goals every single day, then you might as well throw your motivation in the bin, because it's not going to happen. Science will even back that. It's a fact. Yeah. So unless you're getting up every day and doing what you said you were going to do, then 12 months isn't a long time. We have to act now. We have to crack in.
So how do you break the limits that you set on yourself, or that you did set on yourself? How did you break through them?
I think it's seeking for improvement every single day. So it's not like a yearly thing or, like even a monthly thing. It's every single day I see, how can I improve on yesterday? And, it's easier said than done, because sometimes you're going to have those bad days, especially in entrepreneurship, in business. Oh my God, you're going to have more bad days than good. Yep. But it's constantly seeking improvement the day after. Because if you've had a bad day today, right, that's great. That's okay. You know what I mean? Because everyone has bad days. But there's always tomorrow. Nothing's permanent. You know what I mean? Like if we've had a bad day today, then that's not permanent. That's just a bad day today. Tomorrow is a new day. And you have a chance, if you've got your health and, you've got your mind, which is the most important asset that you have, that's all in check, like, you can improve tomorrow, right? Let's say you didn't make it to the gym today, and I'm using fitness as an example. You didn't make it to the gym today because you had other commitments, and you felt a bit negative throughout the day. Then that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, you can do that again tomorrow. I mean, I'm a little bit more extreme. So, for example, like I'll try and clock more Ks in the morning every day. Like if it's not every day, it's every week. I try and improve on something, right? If I can implement a new habit, I'll take on that new habit. I would model the success of others and find out what their habits are. And I won't go out and be extreme and do every single thing that they're doing straight away, because that's a recipe for disaster. Like that's like trying to quit smoking after smoking a pack a day for 20 years. You know what I mean? Going cold turkey. It's not going to happen. You're going to go back on it. Right. So the key is to ease into it. So that's why every year we say to our clients, and we say to you guys out there listening and watching, that, improve on every year. See what else you can achieve. The worst thing that you can do is think big at the start of the year and then decrease those goals. Move the target. Never ever move the target. Set the target up there. Like set it so high that people laugh at you. Set it high that even the people that respect you laugh at you. I know when I tell people that my goals, they look at me and, okay, because they respect me, they'll probably say, oh, that's great, Zara, like, good luck with it. But I know on the inside that they're